The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Forex Recap!
Hey guys, this is a Forex Recap for December of 2020 through December of 2021. Alright, let's cover the pound dollar. Okay, this is a weekly chart. So beginning from December of 2020, we got this strong run up all the way up to these levels, where there was a strong short trade that formed right here. Then about 4 weeks later, we got a week long trade that formed right here. So at this point, the bias was short, or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot low right here before reaching this pivot high. And so as price pulled back, I was looking for short trades on the lower time frames, and that main target was hit at this point right here. And moreover, as price pulled back, I was still looking for short entries. However, if you recall at this point right here, there was compact long price action that formed, which shows strong long strength. And so the bias changed to long, or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. And then about a month later, that main target was hit at this level right here. Okay, and at the same time, there was another strong short trade that formed right here. And as price fell down to these levels, there was actually another weak long trade that formed right here. So again, the bias became short, or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And so again, as price pulled back, I was looking for short entries on the lower time frames, and this main target was hit at this point right here. And then the next week, again, there was another week long trade that formed, so the bias remained short, but now the bias was stating that price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. Okay, and if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about in terms of biases and week long trades and strong short trades, please watch my price action trading course. For that course is designed to provide you the necessary information so you can understand these forecasts. Okay, so again, another week long trade formed at this point right here. So as price pulled back, I was again looking for short trades on the lower time frames. However, as price reached this area, there was actually another strong short trade that formed. So in this case, the bias remains short. However, the bias was now stating that price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And so another way to look at this is that the main stop loss on this weekly chart will be at this level right here, while the main target will be at this level down here. Okay, and about 2 weeks later, that main target was hit right at this level right here. And then again, another week long trade formed. So the bias was again short, but now price was likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And so as price pulled back to these levels, this would have been a great opportunity for a long-term short entry for the stop losses at this pivot high right here. However, as you guys know, I took a leave from trading due to medical conditions, so I was not able to take this long-term short entry. Okay, so after this nice pullback, there was another strong short trade that formed here. And as price fell down to these levels, there was another week long trade that formed. So again, the bias was still short, so that means that price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. Now as price came down to these levels, just recently, there was actually a long trade that formed, which was stronger than the last weekly short trade right here. And so at this point, the bias is long, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot high right here before reaching this pivot low. However, if you guys recall, as I mentioned in the forecast, there is a strong monthly gap level that runs right through these levels right here that can possibly be a target for this last weekly long trade. And at this point, I'm waiting for lower time frame confirmation to confirm whether or not this last long trade actually did hit its target at this level right here, in which case it did. The bias will be short, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot low right here before reaching the hypothetical pivot high of where that target was reached. Now, on the other hand, if this last long trade did not hit a target at this level, the bias will be long, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. Okay, and for up-to-date forecast of current and future price, please watch my weekly forecast and midweek analysis series. Alright, so that's it for this recap. I hope you guys have a great day. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye.